Shack Shakers, welcome back to Miku's Crackhouse. I'm your host as always, ass blown out Kingma, and joining me is my best friend and co-host, Pissing a Bottle Myles. Anyways, fucking A, dude. We tried to record the start of this episode like an hour and a half ago, and like my dinner just fucking at Shake Shack today was just not it, bro. It's not it. It did not. It sucked. Anyways, I'm sorry about that, guys. Yeah. Anyways, it's episode 129. We're back. We're back in this bitch. Oh, we have a question from the Discord, which we typically bring it up at the end of the episode, but nobody ever gets there that far. So
it's a fucking no man's land at the end of that episode, Sam.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do to support and shout out the Discord every episode is we're gonna start with the fun icebreaker question, and if you want to ask a question, feel free to do so in the Discord, link in the description of the podcast.
We don't accept comments on YouTube. You got to join the Discord. We don't accept YouTube comments.
No. Yes, it's got to. Well, I mean, you can please comment on YouTube.
Please comment on the video, but we won't answer the question.
But if you
have to
want,
be in the Discord.
Yeah, if you have questions for Crackhouse, post them in the thread. Questions for Crackhouse. Well, anyways, without further ado, today's question, Myles, comes from Julian, which is, what's Sam's relationship with music, and how does it differ from Myles' experiences with the medium? And also, what albums, playlists, or mixes? I'm assuming like that we like or listen to frequently.
Yeah, I know why you're asking this. I'll let you answer first, Sam.
So I don't know, man. There's a lot I could say about music. I love music, of course. I actually spend a lot of time like just listening to music, where like I'm not doing anything else.
You listen to SpongeBob Rule 34,
Rule 34, and you know nothing but the hits, bro. Nothing but the classics.
Sicko mode.
Simple
mode.
Take me to Taco Bell. Nothing but just the bangers. Nothing but bangers. But like, I have a big issue with like a lot of big popular artists who constantly change their sound on like an album by album basis. Like I get it, it's like fucking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like the appeal of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's kind of different each time, but it's sort of the same thing. It's like, like Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift has a lot of JoJo energy going on right now. She's doing that fucking Eras tour. Sorry, Taylor Swift's on top of my mind right now because she's fucking. People know I live in Kansas City now, and if you follow fucking pop culture, she's dating some guy on the Chiefs named Travis Kelce. Apparently he's fucking he's good, I guess. I'm assuming he's good. I don't really follow football, but Chiefs are just really big down here. It's just a really big cultural thing. Because the football team's good. Football team's good. They win,
Well, they win now.
Yeah, they win now. So famous, people are into them now.
The famous Seinfeld joke of, really, all you root for is the clothes, because the moment that someone leaves your team to go to another team, now you suddenly hate that team. Or now you suddenly hate that player.
Yeah, and it's like, it's fucking goofy. So, but yeah, she's dating this fucking guy, and dude, she's suffocating this city like a Batman villain. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, she's fucking everywhere. I was talking to my uncle about it, and he was telling me, he's like, Sam, this woman could ignite an army, bro. This woman could ignite Mother fucking Base. This woman could make Mother Base be real, dude. I'm
picturing the Mel Gibson episode, the Passion of the Christ episode of South Park, but it's Taylor Swift as Cartman, dressed in the little Hitler outfit, marching down the street. with all the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's her new fucking era, bro. That's her new fucking era. And this is the fucking thing, bro.
Fascist era Taylor Swift. Let's go.
I mean, that's my era, bro. That's my favorite Taylor era. Fascism Taylor's version.
Fascist Taylor Swift.
Not Nazism Taylor's version. But it's just fucking, because this is what I don't get about it. This is what I don't get about the hype, because this is the first time I've seen a hype about a romance since the fucking stupid fucking prince and princess. Remember when those fuckwads got married? God, that was stupid. That was fucking dumb. But at least their blood has some
said
like
anything about music, by the way.
No, we're talking about Taylor Swift right now, bro. Like it's the fucking, like, at least the king and queen had like at least the Prince and
Political
Princess
power, yeah.
have like I don't know, like royal piss in them. Like, it's at least there's some fucking reason for the stupid pomp and circumstance.
Sauce. There's some real sauce on the global scale. The prince and princess getting married,
it's not
does
like
matter.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. It's not like these two are gonna get married, because we all know how the story ends. Like, this is what I don't get,
dude.
It's like
he is the next era, right?
Like,
he
this
is the current era.
Yeah, and I've seen so many like fucking just fire memes and parodies of like people just being like, "Oh, so this is the next Taylor single after they break up," talking about how he fumbled it all, and like, I'm like, that shit's so funny, bro. Because football is just the best. It's just the best. It's the best field for this type of shit. And it's just like, but I don't know what else to say other than it's fucked. But anyways, music. Songs I like to listen to drum and bass. Specifically, there's this YouTuber called Zorovian who makes like these just really just dope, phenomenal, like 50-minute like drum and bass lo-fi mixes that are like so fucking good to listen to. That if I just ever need to just chill the fuck out and vibe, I just put that on and just be.
The problem that I have with music is that so my thing is, because this is about albums in particular, like I do get very attached to like only one or two songs, and then like, so it's hard for me to listen to an album and then not feel this nagging urge to be like, but I really want to listen to the song I heard 3 songs ago.
Yeah,
that was the song that I like. Yeah, I want to go back.
It's so funny. I've There's this band called Illuminati Hotties, and they have this song called Pool Hopping that's so good I haven't listened to the rest of the fucking album.
Yeah, at some point
it's the fucking first song, and it's good, and I don't want to ruin. I know they're not gonna fucking bang. I know they're not gonna follow it up with anything better than it.
That's a big problem I have with albums, is that I tend to really like the first song on an album, and then I tend to just kind of want to stop there. I was revisiting Hybrid Theory because I was just in one of those moods. I was just in one of those moods where like I was really feeling the year 2003. And, well, I think that actually came out in 1999. I think Meteoria was 2003. I don't quite remember. Anyways, I was just really feeling it. And I got to Paper Cut, and I was like, you know what? I just want to listen to this 20 more times. And then I just stopped. Like, I didn't make it to fucking My December. I didn't make it to any of that shit. All right? Didn't make it that far. I Take This to Your Grave is one of my favorite pop punk albums, and I only ever want to listen to Tell That Mick He Just Made My List of Things to Do Today. Even though I love a lot of songs in that album, you know, even the next song, like Dead on Arrival, I really like that song. I really like Saturday and Calm Before the Storm. Like, there's a lot of really great songs in that. Grenade Jumper, and none of them are as good as the fucking opening song. So I just listen to that all the time. And then if I want to listen to the others, I just listen to them as singles. So I have it's kind of like it's just a bit of like an ADHD. I don't have ADHD. That's offensive. I'm so sorry to the masses. I'm so sorry to everybody who's hurt by my statements.
I'm so sorry to everybody on this earth, because everybody on this earth
everyone
thinks
has
they have
fucking
ADHD.
Dude, in the 90s, everyone had fucking ADHD. All right, like when I was diagnosed with autism, my parents were like, nah, brah, it can't be it, because that was the era. Like it meant something very different to have autism back then. Now everyone's got fucking autism. But yeah, so they took me to some doctor who you know would throw fucking Ritalin in my mouth and be like, yeah, he's got ADHD, because that was the trendy, dude. That's the trendy mental illness of the 90s. I don't know what the new trendy mental illness is, but like, because depression is so generic, I don't think it's the trendy mental illness anymore.
Yeah.
I'm thinking
we gotta bring back ADD, bro.
No, ADD's had its time already, dude. Like, it's already defined the 90s. See, like, the problem is that you can't do something like BPD, because all the hot chicks want to have BPD. But, like, that's a personality disorder. Like, you know, it's not the same thing. So, we really need to figure out what the next trendy mental illness is. Because there's always one, isn't there? There's always one that everyone likes to fucking suddenly have.
Everyone likes to claim that they have.
Yeah, like, maybe it's just, maybe it's genuine. Maybe people are able to talk about it more freely because more people are able to talk about it freely. But, like, I don't know. I don't fucking believe that. I would like to fucking think that, like, do you know how many people I meet who have bipolar? Like, very few. Very few. And meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, hello, I got my fucking bottle of pills right here. Like, does anyone else relate? And everyone else is like, nah, I've got, whatever's the trendy one. And I'm like, yeah, of course you do. Fucking course you do. It's like whenever it's like whenever people will say like the current game that they're playing is game of the year. Like, I feel bad about this with Tears of the Kingdom because the problem is I couldn't have seen Baldur's Gate 3 coming. I really couldn't have. But, like, I probably should have been able to just predict it and be like, yeah, no, there's going to be another hot contender. Like, even if it was just FF16, I probably should have been able to see another one coming. But, like, yeah, like, when people call Game of the Year in, like, March, that's always really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Elden Ring definitely had, like, this is Game of the Year feel to it, for sure. But, like, yeah, like, no, I feel this way with, like, trendy mental illness. where it's like, I just find it very funny when it seems like everyone's just coming out of the woodwork saying the exact same thing, and it's like, yeah, give it 6 more months, you'll have something else.
Yeah, but anyways, that all you got to say about music, Myles?
No,
this question?
No, I guess I'll say just a little more about it, just because I don't want to. We talked too much about Taylor Swift and trendy mental illness. Yeah, I mean, I'm always open to albums. There was a review of Ocarina of Time 3D, which had a line that I always really liked, just from like an application standpoint, which was, for many of us, Ocarina of Time was the game that taught us the difference between a good game and a great game. Because that was that era, like 2011. A lot of people who were now writing for these magazines or these websites were probably 2021, like able to say that. And I really like that as a general, like, phrase of there's always some watershed moment in an individual's life that kind of makes them a believer in something in particular. Like there's always one song or one single or one album that is always going to make people not just like believe in the relevance of a band or in, like, the greatness of a band, but for me, like, I'm looking for that thing that I'm looking for, the Ocarina of Time of albums for me personally, where, like, I'm like, all right, this is the album that makes me realize, like, yeah, albums are it. Not all the time, but there is a reason to sit down and give an album a shot instead of just fucking top decking the singles.
But top decking the singles is fun.
It is. No, and I like top decking the singles is great for a certain mood, of course. Like, especially if you're on a run or at work. It's just nice to play fucking Tonight by the Smashing Pumpkins 30 times in your fucking ears. I have a problem where, like, I'll just have like a song of the day and I'll just listen to it until I don't like it enough anymore to listen to it. I still like it, but not enough to listen to it anymore. Like, Little Dark Age was that for me a couple like earlier this week. I just couldn't stop listening to it. And that's a funny ass song because it's really good, but, like, it does have a problem of there's one segment of the song you always want to skip. It's like the key card segment of Metal Gear Solid where you're just like, oh god. Like, I know
this shit again.
Yeah, I know the shit that comes after this is really worth sticking out, but, like, oh god, you want me to?
Is it just like is it a shitty bridge? Is it a shitty
it's a
bridge?
It's always a fucking bridge. It's always the bridge. There's no good bridges. There's never been a good bridge, and there never will be a good bridge. I would know. I was part of bridges for fucking 5 years. I'm the best there is, Sam. I'm the Legend of Legends of Legends. I got all 500 Legend of Legends ranks. All right, I am the bridge man. I know about this. So, I that's obviously a joke. I don't know anything about music. But, yeah, no, bridges are always, like, that's the best time for a song to fucking take a shit in its own pants. Like, if you're gonna
Damn, we're really on it with the fucking toilet humor recently.
Well,
man.
to be fair,
I know, recurrent events and everything,
Yeah, the Flint water crisis and such. Yeah, no, a bridge is usually, I think, always where a song has its, like, low point. If there's any song where your favorite part of the song is the bridge, like, let us know in the Discord, preferably. But, I mean, I have had a very musical week this week, Sam. I decided to revisit a series of classics.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Oh yeah,
I revisited them too once you told me you were revisiting them.
Yes,
because it made me very nostalgic.
I decided to as well. Sam, I listened to the entire catalog of Schoolhouse Rock.
Fuck yeah.
All of it. And I actually made a tier list of the Schoolhouse Rock songs, but I want to talk a little bit about Schoolhouse Rock. Sam, what is your affinity to Schoolhouse Rock?
So, like, I remember growing up back, like, when I lived in my old house. I remember going to school, like, going to school when I was in, like, first and second grade, and then putting in the tapes for Schoolhouse Rock. And then I eventually remember owning Schoolhouse Rock on DVD and watching the DVDs growing up. And as we'll get into, I'm mostly familiar, and I told you this before I watched them, I'm mostly familiar with grammar rocks, money rocks, and like a little bit of history rocks. And like that was my extent of it. But like what I realized from rewatching them was A, it was a huge bump of nostalgia, and B, I forgot how many like just one-liners from these songs I will just mutter to myself just randomly, just completely randomly for no reasons either. And yeah, it just some of the most catchiest fucking tunes ever, bro. I fucking love Schoolhouse Rock, and I love the animations too. Super cute.
Yeah, I was thinking about this in the shower today while I was jerking off into the storm drain.
The best way to do it.
No. I don't jerk off into the shower. Do I want to talk about this? No, I don't. Anyways, I was thinking about this in the shower because I was kind of like, are we the last generation that's going to be really into like Schoolhouse Rock? Like that's going to be like a really relevant part of education and growing up, because I'm not in school anymore. You know, I don't know what is still like in the rotation of the curriculum at schools. Because when I was growing up, yeah, like we would get shown a couple Schoolhouse Rock songs, especially at certain points. Money Rocks, I remember watching in middle school in particular, and the Taxman Max song, when he's got like his like scantily clad women who like represent like where our taxes go, and like all the boys in the auditorium started cheering, like, you know, like that kind of like, however you do that whistling. Just everyone started going nuts for those scantily clad girls, which is very funny because they're fugly as sin. Dude, Taxman Max fucks all of them, though. You know, like, he just fucking runs train on all of those women. He's got a lot of stamina in that little body of his.
But yeah, so where do you want to start with Schoolhouse Rock? Because there's so much to say.
Well,
there's
okay,
so much to say.
I just want to start with my little tier list here real quick, because I think it is indicative of the strength and weaknesses of some of these albums. Now, just to let you know, Money Rocks was not included on this because the Money Rocks songs just, I don't know, they weren't included in the tier list I found online, and I wasn't going to add them myself. I don't give a fuck. But it doesn't matter, because most of them would be in fucking C and D tier anyways. Most of them aren't very good. I like Taxman Max. I like Dollars and Cents.
I'd put that in B. I'd put that
Dollars
in
and
B.
Cents is a solid B ass song. Like Taxman Max.
I like
B.
750 once a week, but I put it in C. I like that song a lot, but I put it in C.
I will talk about with Money Rocks in particular. Money Rocks feels like the angriest of all of these songs. Like it seems like a series of songs about making sure kids stop fucking asking you for more allowance money and stop complaining about how the family's not rich enough.
Yeah, I gotta be real. There's some fucking tracks on here that are like that I was like, oh man, he's shut the fuck up. Like he's shut the fuck up. Like, I'm glad you got the energy song in D, because I'm like, shut the fuck up, Earth. Shut the fuck up. I'm gonna use as much energy as I want, you piece of shit, bitch. Like,
yeah, so whenever they start to kind of chastise you in some of these songs,
I'm gonna pollute as much as I want to.
Yeah, did you hear what he just did to the fucking ocean?
Yeah, it's
what he just flushed into the sea.
Yeah, the Eldritch steak, the Shake Shack abomination,
straight out of Carrion, like. Yeah,
honestly though.
Yeah, so yeah, like Money Rocks, most of those would be in fucking D tier, because a lot of them are like clearly like, stop asking me propaganda. Like Taxman Max explaining like where taxes go, you know where the money goes, is about like asking kids to just fucking know we got bills to pay. All right, if you're gonna leave your fucking lights on, we're gonna have to be able to pay for you to go to band practice, to go to the Rose Bowl, or there was another one that I got this sense from. Oh yeah, 750 once a week is a really big one where it's like, yeah, stop asking for a fucking raise. How about you save your fucking money better, you idiot? Don't fucking spend $2 on a fucking
on the enchilada when it's 50 cents across the street.
I remember that line.
We know it all, dude. We know we know all the lore, bro.
Yeah, now I would like to try a slice of pizza pie, but I'm high and dry. That's no joke.
Anyway, so like, do we want to start at the bottom or we want to start at the top?
I'll start at the bottom. So I guess what I'll say is what's indicative of the way that I would rate these albums is Math Rocks is at the bottom. History Rocks is probably above it. Science Rocks is like slightly above that. They're kind of comparable, but I think I have more songs from Science. No, I have more songs from History Rocks from what it looks like. Or do I? No, I have more songs from Science Rocks. And then just unequivocally, Grammar is like it's on a fucking cloud, while the rest of these are down on Earth. You know, fucking except for Math Rocks, which is in the fucking depths. You know, just complete fucking.
Well, because it's not fucking Math Rocks. It's numbers 1 through 10 rock. Like
numbers 1 through 12, except not 10 because 10's obvious. So like, it's not math concepts. It's the multiplications tables, and like you can tell that for some of these they got nothing. Like the 6 song literally has no theme, and it's one of the better songs on the album, but it has no theme. And then a lot of the songs are just like, I don't know, terrible. I can't explain it properly. And none of them are awful and like hard to listen to, but some of them I wouldn't want to hear. Like, I don't care. I think part of the reason that I had the most trouble with the 7's multiplication table was because I didn't like listening to Lucky 7, whatever his name is. Lucky Leo 7. I think his name is Lucky Leo, yeah.
I didn't rewatch the numbers one, so
Lucky Leo's a character from fucking The Secret Show. Yeah, so I have Figure 8 as dead last because Figure 8 is fucking depressing and no one wants to hear that crap. No one wants to hear that bullshit when you're listening to School House Rock. I'm not trying to fucking hear. I'm gonna put this on the second monitor. I'm not trying to fucking hear this bitch singing this fucking wintry ass song. Like, fuck off. Where's the ditties? Where's the bops? Where's the numbers? Come on. Yeah, and then Lucky Leroy Bunny Man, the furry guy who shows off his feeties at one point. He's got the number 7 on his feet, and I just fucking know that ruined somebody's life. Someone has a fetish for drawing like numbers on someone's feet now.
What's worse, the 7 on the dog foot or the 9 on the fat cat tie?
Oh, the 7 one. The 7 one is so much worse because the 9 one is at least like that's chaste.
Fabric.
Yeah, that's chaste. It's just part of his outfit. Yeah, so like there are fucking back to back like numbers 8, 7, and 9 back to back fucking D tier trash garbage. Probably the only one I would put lower is like Walking on Wall Street. Like those are all just like, and now you know what, I might even put Walking on Wall Street higher because that one's at least vaguely catchy. Even though it's a lie. Even though it's a fucking lie of a song. Mother Necessity, which is just a little too erratic for my taste. It goes through quite a few different... It's also the most inaccurate one. I shouldn't be scoring this way, but it does have the most, like, just objectively incorrect information, which is really funny. So, yeah, it belongs down there. And then Energy, which we just brought up, like, it's very slow and somber, and I don't like being fucking mansplained by the planet Earth, so I didn't vibe with this shit. Next up is Four-Legged Zoo. Whoever told them it was a good idea to have a bunch of untrained children sing the entire song should probably be fucking dragged to hell, like right now, like dragged to hell like Alison Lohman.
Like a pentagram just appears beneath them and they get sucked in.
Yeah, like the Bayonetta game over screen. Just get taken there, you know? Fuck you. Next up is Elementary, another Math Rocks entry, which is the Noah's Ark song that is so bland and so not catchy that I don't care. Why the hell would I ever want to listen to this shit, especially because it's got no lyrics. Like there's like nothing there's nothing like clever about it, because how can you be clever about 2? It's just elementary, my dear. 2 times 2 is 4, and then all right, just congratulations, you've heard the whole song. You're done. And then Those Not So Dry Bones is the last one in D. I can't even remember the melody if I tried, but I don't hate it either. C is Little 12 Toes, because that's another really erratic song that's just like, it's just, where's the consistency? I thought I would really like Little 12 Toes as an adult, because it's like kind of weird and spacey, but it's just too fucking erratic. The Preamble, because it's just the preamble. Yeah, like, I don't know what to tell you.
But it's better than the fucking numbers, most of the numbers.
Oh, most of the numbers song, yeah. Like, that's not even that bad of a song. It's just, it's not very remarkable. I got 6, which is really, really catchy, but it loses points for having no theme whatsoever. Like, I don't remember it at all, and I couldn't help you remember it. Elbow Room from History. You know what? I fucking did I Got 6 dirty. I would put it above both Electricity and Elbow Room. Yeah, Electricity is literally just like, we have conjunction junction at home.
Oh.
It's yeah, electricity.
They just tell you all the things electricity
what's
does.
Your function? They're the same song.
It is the same
Except
song.
conjunction junction has like more like
explanations
verses
of what it is.
Yeah, well, Electricity doesn't have any verses. It's just like, put your dick into the socket. Electricity. And that's the whole song. Just replace it with the next explanation of what electricity does or goes into or is. And there's no music. It's like Breath of the Wild. It has no music.
But it is catchy though, despite being no music. You'll never forget electricity.
Just like Breath of the Wild. Just, everyone remembers doo 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 doo.
I gotta be honest. I think electricity deserves to be a little higher. I can't fuck with it in this position right now.
Okay.
I'm saying like bottom of B probably. No more than bottom of B.
Okay. Well, Busy Prepositions is another song I have at C, even though I like that song a fair amount. It's just because, again, it has a bridge, Sam. And of course, the bridge fucks up. It's the part where Jack Sheldon starts singing. On the top is where you are. Like, that part is not good. It's just not very good. No More Kings is there as well in C. I don't dislike it. I just have no affinity for it. Three Ring Circus, I like for the theme, especially that it's basically an insult to the government. Like, it calls Congress people clowns and shit. Like, that's fun. But definitely a little, like, I don't know. It's very static. There's not as much to it. I put it below Unpack Your Adjectives. I'm actually shocked I did that. I think it goes above Unpack Your Adjectives. I find Unpack Your Adjectives really funny because
it is funny. It's a cute little song. I like the cartoon.
Cute. Yeah. But it also just has like the highest pitched singer I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, her name is like Jeannie Bergman or something like that. She also does Figure 8, which is not a winner. But like the opening line of it is just, got back from camping last spring, and it's just like, oh my god, I didn't know anyone could sound like she sounds like an anime dub voice actor. Like, she sounds like she is trying to play a lolly in like Dragon Maid.
And what's funny about Unpack Your Adjectives is, like, if you grew up with the DVDs or in school or whatever, like, this is the first one.
That's the one that hits you.
This is your introduction to School House Rock every time. Is this fucking track?
And in my opinion, maybe not the best opener. The Great American Melting Pot comes after that. That's a really good one. It also has some Polish representation, so, like, let's go, gamers. Telegraph Line, which I really like a lot more than my positioning. I just, like, I didn't feel right putting it any higher. Telegraph Line, I haven't really been bringing this up, but, like, Telegraph Line also begins a trend that I noticed while watching these, which is that some of these characters are super powered, are, like, supernatural entities. Like Lucky 7 Leo or whatever his name is, Naughty Number 9, The Earth, the bones and them dry bones, obviously little 12 toes, the prepositions, the busy peas, like they're all super powered beings in the Schoolhouse Rock universe. The Lady Liberty in the Schoolhouse Rock universe, who's alive and wrote a cookbook, is empowered. But I think Telegram Line was the first time that I realized, like, there are like superpowers in this universe, and in particular, the kid from Telegram Line has Telegraph Line, has clairvoyance. He can see the future, and he can convey the future to you through a telegraph line that tells you how you're going to react to an important event. So that's a fun song, though. Great theme, really good, like, probably one of the few songs with, like, a good child singer, too. Most of the children in this fucking thing are shit. They're garbage. Like, that's why he gets his own fucking song. And meanwhile, the four-legged zoo kids sound like they're being tortured. Like, so yeah, no, shout outs to Telegraph Kid and his superpower, his power of clairvoyance. He's got the future devil in him. Okay, Suffering for Suffrage, even though it's a cringe women's rights song. That's a really good song. You know,
B tier.
Yeah, B tier.
Next.
For bitch. For bitches. No, it's a really good song. I used to hate it as a kid because it starred a woman, like, no joke. No cap. But no, like, that song rules. It's very good. And then next up is The Shot Heard Round the World. I think I would put this higher if I had to reevaluate it. Like, because it's just really, like, it's probably the most, like, badass of these songs.
I think it's my favorite history song. No, Bill is probably my favorite history song.
I put Bill and Fireworks above it, and I think I would probably put it above Fireworks now that I think about it. Because Shot Heard Around the World is just, like, it really does make you feel like an American. Like, it's such a good song, and it kind of makes you want to die for the country a little bit. Just a little. So this is a Good 11, which is just, like, that's a really, like, good, classy song. Very 70s, though. The Circulation, which is probably one of the more, like, dance, like, fun tracks to sing, like, probably the first of the really, like, fun tracks to just, like, whip out and sing. Very few lyrics to memorize, but also, like, just really, really catchy, and it just feels good to sing, especially the like, core, you know, that's brand new craze, that's sweeping the nation, come on, it's circulation. It's like, how can you not want to sing that song? Starts with your heart and it's a great sensation, let's do it, the circulation. It's like, you hear that and you just feel like, oh man, this is energy. This is energy. Yeah, I want to listen to this song. So yeah. And then afterwards is Body Machine. I don't know where if I like Body Machine or The Circulation more. I think I was more impressed by Body Machine. But I probably was wrong, and I probably should have put Circulation above it. And then Fireworks, which we've discussed, is about the 4th of July, and I would have put Shot Heard Around the World above this first. Finally, entering A tier, we have Interjections show excitement or emotion. They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point
or by a comma if the feeling's not as strong.
I think the problem with that song solely is the fact that or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong is a penis line. It's the part that makes you, like, laugh the most because it's so awkward. But everything else about the song is so great. I love everything about it. For the most part, like, especially the examples, like, darn, you just lost the game. Yeah, that's a really fun one. Hooray, I'm for the other team. Just lots of really great interjections, frankly, that are really, really memorable. Next up is 3 is Magic Number, the only song good enough to be a De La Soul
covered.
Yeah, to be a De La Soul song. Yeah. 0, My Hero, which just touches my fucking heart. Because it's just a great, wholesome song that's got a great melody. And it's cute, and it's good, and I like it. Maybe a controversial pick, I don't know. Gravity. Down, 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 Gravity from Science Rules. It's sung by the Tokens, who did The Lion Sleeps Tonight, And that's why it's in fucking A tier, because that shit is catchy as fuck. It's like the perfect doo-wop song. Now, I've mentioned...
real quick, by the way, can we say about the Lion Sweet? So like that fucking wee... That needs to be... Why hasn't that been used in a fucking horror movie yet? As like the fucking song someone sings when they're fucking going down the street and it just goes, wee...
It does have big, like...
It's it. Come on, that's free, bro. Y'all can have that idea for fucking free.
It does have big, like, Mr. Sandman vibes where it's subtly creepy, like in the right context. Even though I like both those songs. Yeah, like, if you just did that, like, especially, you know, with, like, some nice piano stings. Ding! Yee! Dong! Yeah, like, there you go, you know? So anyways, I've talked about this one on the show before, and I stand by it. In A, of course, is the Counting by Five song, which is just so simple and so good that, like, and especially that fucking rockin' ass guitar in the background. Like, the moment you start singing it, you can't stop. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100, ready or not, here I come. Bushel of wheat and a bushel of rye. Who's not ready? Holler I. Like, just so simple and so good and so catchy. Next up is Noun is a Person, Place, or Thing. Featuring White Chubby Checker. Did you notice this, Sam? When they show Chubby Checker, he's white. Did you notice that?
No.
Yeah, in the dime store record machine, or the drugstore record machine. No, it was dime store record machine. No, it was drugstore record machine. I don't remember anymore.
It's gotta be dime store record machine. Anyways, I just couldn't get over the world's first animated friend zone simp in that video.
Yeah, the little ginger boy with his like
he literally
cheeks.
this like ginger boy. Literally, this girl fucking hops in this guy's arm and he's like, "Yeah, I met up with my best friend today." It's like, all right, lady.
They also share a malt together with the same straw. Like
they do, or no, it's the same cup. Two straws,
same
one cup.
Yeah.
The fucking Noun song's alright. I got no comment about the Noun song other than the simpid shit.
Yeah, no, the Chubby Checker one, dude, and also Mrs. Jones blown the fuck out. Like, that is so funny to me. Like, I just taking these like non-characters and like making them part of like a grand narrative is always so fucking funny to me. Like, just the dog that chases Mrs. Jones and who's a lady who lives on Hudson Street and acting like she's iconic. Like, that is so funny to me. A, which probably should be an S, but I'm gonna put it in A because I reserved S for like songs that I consider like absolutely fucking legendary.
Yeah, Interplanet Jan is not legendary. Well, it's pretty close.
It's really, it's so close to legendary.
I agree with the ranking, bro. I agree with the ranking here.
Yeah, it's not quite there because like you have to understand like the fucking iconicness of the ones I have in S. Our next fucking
You don't
level.
Understand the gap between Janet and Bill.
Dude, yeah, and I'm just a Bill at the bottom of S because it's not catchy, but god damn is it
I'm sorry. I want to say that, well, I hope and pray that I will, but today I'm still just a Bill. Dude, could you fucking imagine, like, Stone Temple Pilots or something, like, singing that fucking bar? Like,
to be fair, it is
so
really...
good,
that part is very catchy, but a lot of it is just a lot of, like, talking between each other.
Just explaining shit.
Yeah, which is, again, it's super iconic, and it's also excessively educational. Like you're more likely to learn from that song than you are from an actual class, because it makes it just dead-ass simple to understand. But yeah, there's not a lot of singing there, but I had to put it in S just out of respect.
Yeah.
It's like saying fucking, you know, Citizen Kane. Like, even if you don't like that movie that much, so you know, credit where credit is due, game recognized game.
I feel like all the S tiers do a great job of also, like, really breaking down what the thing is that the song is covering.
When you finish it, you're like, I'm fucking good. I understand this perfectly. A Noun is a person, place, or thing does that as well, but
it's just not as good. It's just not as strong as a song.
Yeah, now this one is fucking iconic in the year
Rufus
2021.
Xavier,
Sarsaparilla, a very proper noun, replacing the noun kangaroo. How common. Which, by the way, can I just say that Jack Sheldon is the most black white guy, like, as a singer. Like, he sang as a couple of different black characters on the show, even though he's white, and I just never fucking questioned it. I was like, yeah, that's a black guy. Sure. Thought the same thing about John Mayer. Inexplicably, I thought he might have been black. That's stupid. There's no way that fucking cracker is fucking black. But yeah, Rufus Xavier Sarsaparilla, like, the pronoun song is so fucking good. It's so fucking fun to just sing, like, especially the breakdowns when he gives you the non-pronouned up sentence. He found a kangaroo that followed him home, and now it is his, as a, you know, like, or, sorry, that's the pronouned up version. Yeah. Yeah.
Pronoun diversion.
The pronoun, yeah, of course you have kangaroos and pronouns. Yeah, but I can't say that, because she found an aardvark that fell in love with her. Just so fucking good. Next one, this is probably a controversial take for some people, but I stand by it so much. Of course, lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Father, son, and lolly, selling adverbs here. That song is so unbelievably fucking good. And by the way, that's what kicked off this whole fucking train.
Dude, I just say that, like, lolly, 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 get your adverbs here. Like, can I keep it a buck 50 with you, Miles? Yeah. Before I rewatched that video and after I rewatched that video, my understanding of adverbs was totally different, bro. I would have failed to properly explain to you what a fucking adverb was before I watched this. And now I'm like, oh, I know now. I know what a fucking adverb is.
It's actually excellent at explaining the concept, even though it's not as direct as, like, interjection. Like, interjection's really direct, noun is really direct. Like, there's more musicality to this, and it's a little bit more, like, intricate than... it has the infomercial segment that kind of breaks it down very well, but...
Yeah, but also the musicality uses a lot of adverbs in it, which is, like, great.
It's really clever. It's
such a fucking good...
Yeah.
So, and I love the whole setup, too. I love the grandfather, the father, and the little son character.
Got a lot of lolly jolly adverbs here. Yeah. Especially that frame is burned into my mind because it's the worst part of animation I've ever seen. When he's like,
where they just zoom out of the house.
Lolly selling adverbs here. No, he's just, like, turning his head back and forth. It's really bizarre. The zoom out's pretty good. That's a pretty good effect.
You like the zoom out? That's the frame that's always been ingrained in my mind because they repeat that exact frame like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. It's, that's production.
But it's, hey man, it's a goated song, bro. Honestly, should be higher, bro. Honestly, should be higher.
The problem is that the top 3 are like are some of the most iconic songs in the entire fucking thing. Like, it's so hard to top these. But yeah, no, I especially the fact, like, the ending of that song is so perfect. Indubitably. So perfect and so good and so excellent. And yeah, like, the musicality of it is really clever and thoughtful. How, where, or when, condition, or reason. These questions are answered when you use an adverb. Come and get it! Like, just so good and so memorable and catchy. But of course, the top 3, the fucking bronze medalist, Mr. Motherfucking Morton. Which, this song is a straight up masterpiece.
Dude, when I rewatched this, I was like, what the? I like didn't fully like remember this one. I watched it, I was like, bro, what the fuck were they on, dude, when they made this? Dude, this is the example of the fucking man on the beach with the piano on fire. Like this song, they were on that energy when they fucking made Mr. Morton, bro.
It's actually fucking nuts, like, how good that song is. And it tells, like, a really great story that makes perfect sense.
The story is actually so compelling, you're like, oh yeah, this was about fucking the subject of the sense. Like, the most boring fucking shit in grammar.
Yeah, like they actually went dummy on this. This is, like... It's like a brilliant documentary about fucking textile factories or something, where it's just like, you're so riveted by garbage. This is an episode of How It's Made. Like, this song is an episode of How It's Made, where you're just fucking glued to the screen, riveted about how the tassels on rugs get made. And you're like, I can't believe I've never not cared about this in my life before. This is the fucking Marble League of these fucking songs, where it makes you give a shit about prepositions. Or not prepositions, predicates. Makes you give a fuck about predicates. And yeah, and the song, like, dude, the story, it's like heartwarming and heartbreaking.
I know, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's really great. Dude, that's like a great, like, Pixar short film. Like classic era fucking love story for Pixar, but with a great ass song. If you literally just like had that song underneath this animation and just didn't have the lyrics, like, it would be a perfect like short film. And it would win a fucking award. Go listen to Mr. Morton. Number 2, and you're gonna be surprised this is not number 1 unless
Should
you're
be
not.
number 1 IMO, bro.
Well, I had to give it to another one, but Conjunction Junction.
Conjunction Junction. This deserves to be number 1. I cannot believe we're giving it to the fucking Verb song.
Verb is fire, but Conjunction Junction is easily the most iconic one, and it's easily the most like, it's so genius and it's so recognizable. And the only reason it's not there is that I just find the other one like catchier, like and more like energetic. Like, I'd rather listen to it. But like, Conjunction Junction is the most iconic fucking song in the franchise. It's number 1.
Conjunction Junction is fucking awesome. First of all, Conjunction Junction sounds like a fucking Donkey Kong level.
It probably is a Donkey Kong level. They had to cut it for legal reasons. Yeah, no, Conjunction Junction is absolutely iconic. It's the best Jack Sheldon song.
Oh yeah, he goes so stupid hard on that character. Also, the conductor is the most powerful character in the verse.
Oh yeah, no, he has. First of all, there's a frame that goes so hard when he's walking atop all the conjunctioned trains. Like, and it's just this like wide shot of him just fucking walking along an endless string of trains, and then he hops on the back. And then it gets
to the end, and then he just fucking grabs on him like, dude, this guy, bro. Like,
yeah, no, he has the Riz. He has the Riz, Sam, absolutely. And I know it's a controversial opinion, but my number 1 was Verb, That's What's Happening. Because Verb, That's What's Happening is like the like most impressive to me musically song, and it does a really, really fucking good job of explaining its subject in a way that's like, it doesn't have like it doesn't have what I call the educational breakdown. A lot of these songs have the educational breakdown.
Yeah,
like the
like
infomercial
Noun is a good example of
Noun,
that.
yeah. Noun has the educational breakdown. The infomercial part of get your adverbs here.
Yeah. Even Mr. Morton has it where the chorus ends. Mr. Morton is the
subject of the sentence.
And what the predicate says he does.
Whereas Verb, like, at no point, because here's the thing, like, they just use the sort of recurring like Shaft-esque like blaxploitation theme song to, you know, because his name is Verb, so it's like singing Shaft, he gets the ladies, like that's not a breakdown of the premise. That's just fucking Shaft's badass theme song. So first of all, I just want to say that Disney needs to fucking apologize to Verb for being like, yeah, Black Panther, the first black superhero. It's like, no, fucking Verb.
Eat my shorts, you fucker.
Verb was not only the first black superhero, he was the first like successful superhero movie, because that fucking song came out before the Christopher Reeve Superman film. So Verb is the most successful on-screen superhero prior to fucking Superman, Samuel. He's the first, and he deserves the recognition. But then also there's just like,
that's what's happening.
That's what's fucking happening. But like, the ways it, like, I'm actually genuinely fucking impressed by this song in a way that, like, I cannot believe that I'm like so impressed by it. Like the animation being both really, like, it tells
very energetic.
It tells a cohesive story. Like when he goes to the counter and he buys the popcorn and then gives her the coin. And it's like, it has the lyrics like, to get, to give, like, even though, and those come at the end of 2 completely separate verbs, so you don't realize that they're integrating the lyrics into the visuals until it happens, and it fucking shoots at you like a speeding bullet. You're like, whoa, I see what you guys did there, holy shit. And it also has a couple of like just banger fucking moments, like, I don't know my own power, like so awesome. The finale part as well, where he runs home and hugs his mom.
Mom is pretty dope.
Yeah, dude, and it has that "to love." It's so sick.
Dude, y'all gotta watch this shit, bro. Y'all gotta watch fucking School House Rock, man. This shit's fucking lit, bro. You're gonna learn all about this shit. We really shouldn't be surprised, by the way, that Grammar Rocks is the best fucking songs, because they're able to actually implement the shit, the words, and the grammar structures and types of bullshit.
It's all like wordplay, and you can get away with telling a story, or you can get away with I mean, because it's just lyrics that demonstrate the concepts. And Verb in particular, I think, represents this really well, with a lot of really clever, like, great visuals. The visuals use it a lot, and then also the ways in which they get a chance to just constantly like do different examples by using the imaginative visuals. Like it's a superhero, anything can happen. He's doing all these things. It's so good, dude. Verb. I hope that the Verb movie gets remade, and that it fucking
Verb gets re-released.
Yeah, dude. Dude, if there was a Fathom events for Verb to go see Verb, I would fucking see that shit.
That'd be awesome.
I would just love to be sitting in a theater. I hate the movie theater like pre-shows. Do you go to AMC at all?
Yeah.
AMC has the worst movie pre-shows, like Nuvi.
Oh, I agree, dude. I just fucking hate movies. I've been thinking a lot about the theater today, and just like people who are like, yeah, I really support the theater, and then they don't fucking buy food. I've definitely made fun of Karsten Runquist for doing this shit, and I was just like, it's just like, you like the big screen. Like, can you just admit it? Like, you don't like the theater or the theater experience. You like the fucking big screen.
And the sound.
You like watching the movie on the fucking big screen.
It is the most selfish transaction. Like, it is like, I don't really have a great comparison, I suppose, but I would say it's like people who like to emulate games and then say like, oh yeah, I'm a big supporter, or I'm a big fan. Like you have a lot of these people who like Falcom games, and it's like all you do is emulate their games, dude. Like that's not really true. Like,
all their games are actually on fucking Steam, so people buy their shit.
Oh my god, you're so right. No,
even when like Trails from Zero and Trails to Azure you needed the fan translation, you needed to buy the games on a fucking Japanese website.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Falcom is the worst. There's definitely an example, and it's one of these like lesser like kind of B tier RPG companies where like their games are fire, but they're not like making the Square Enix money. They're not making the I guess Square Enix is the only one that's making the Square Enix money, to be fair.
And hey, Square Enix money ain't enough money for Square Enix, so.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. This happened recently where like I knew an example of like people who talk about how they're big fans of like, and it's an RPG series, and it's gonna drive me crazy.
You're talking about a franchise.
I'm talking about a franchise, yeah, because Sea of Stars you can't emulate. There is some RPG franchise that like people just exclusively emulate, and they say that they're fucking fans of it, and I'm like, you're nuts. And I can't remember what it is now. But
there's gotta be a reason for why they all emulate it, though, right?
I mean, I hope so. Like, otherwise, it's fucking insane. Like, it's not like. Because a lot of Shin Megami Tensei fans, they buy the games. Like, they actually do go out and buy the games. So it's not them. I can't remember. Anyways, yeah, like, it's just, like, you just want the experience of getting to play the thing or getting to watch the thing in ideal conditions for you. You don't actually want to support, like, the store that gets it to you, right?
Which, by the way, I'm totally in support of, I'm totally in support of watching or doing whatever you want to have the most optimal experience for yourself. Just don't cope. Don't claim that you're supporting or care about the theater and then you don't buy food at the theater. Like
that, but that's my issue. It's the fucking lies that people will tell you to like act like to act like this is really that important to them. It's like, no, if someone brought a screen that big in your house, if you had a home theater, you'd never go to the theater ever again. You wouldn't need to.
Oh, absolutely. Like, because it's just like, I agree. Like, last movie I saw I think in theaters was like Oppenheimer, and like I don't think there's a single movie coming out the rest of this year that I'm like super jazzed about wanting to go see or anything.
I guess the last one I saw in theaters was Barbie, and like I didn't need to see that on the big screen. No one needed to see that on the big screen. That's a fairly small screen kind of film experience.
Yeah, it just happened to be like carried by an actually worthwhile like movie to see in the theater.
Yeah, which is very funny. Barbie's not terrible. That's a home movie.
I'm specifically claiming its success in the box office was definitely carried by Oppenheimer because
meme,
it's like because it's like we can go see both because like I don't think most people are really going to go out of their way to go see Barbie at the theater specifically.
If it wasn't like a big meme, because I think a lot of people would have just been content to support it on Blu-ray or on streaming, whenever that was. But like the fact that like you could go out and be like, I was part of the Barbenheimer meme, like that is a
part of the movement.
I was a part of the movement, dude. They should have handed out like AIDS ribbons at Barbenheimer. Like if you saw both of them, like one side is pink, yeah, exactly, half pink and half black, and you get your little your Barbenheimer ribbon. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see it on the same day, so I don't get the Barbenheimer ribbon, and I also didn't see it like at launch. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so broken.
Can you believe video games is gonna have its fucking Barbenheimer moment in like 2 weeks? We're gonna have Spider Bros Wonder.
Oh, are those coming out the same day?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I did intend to get them both actually. I didn't play Spider-Man 1, and at this point, I don't have to. I can't imagine I missed enough story that I'm going to be confused by Spider-Man.
I mean, honestly, you're really... So I'm sure someone's going to get mad if I say this, but you're really not missing much from the narrative. I mean, the narrative's good in the first Insomniac game. 2018 Spider-Man is like one of my go-to examples of like, that's an 8 out of 10. Like, you want to play an 8 out of 10, you want to know what an 8 out of 10 game looks like, that's it. High quality, it keeps your interest for the entire 100% completion, and in your final moments as you clean up your last trophy, you're like, man, I'm getting sick of this shit. Like, and then the game's over.
Yeah, I felt this with Saints Row 4. Like, that's a really great example. Saints Row 4 also had an achievement where it's like, play for 40 hours. I'm like, I've done everything else, and I've done it for 31 hours. So I just left the game on for 9 hours at my college dorm. I went to a party, and I just left it on. And then I was just fucking held hostage by it. To be fair, the same thing happened when I had to make a nuke in Metal Gear Solid 5. I just had to leave my fucking console on for 24 hours. And then I trashed it immediately. I trashed the nuke immediately. Man, good times. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think I'm ever going to play the first Spider-Man. I don't, if there's just a better version of Spider-Man out in the world, I might as well just play that.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if you'd like Spider-Man 2018. I don't know if you'd connect with it. I don't think you'd like it.
I think I would.
Maybe you would, but I don't think
I'd find it like okay. I'd probably think it's like decent, but it would depend on how much is going on in my life. Because the moment I have a job, like or work to do, like that's the moment where I'm like, I can't be playing this. I can't be playing.
It's
this
so funny,
game.
man. How my gaming habits have basically completely fucking changed. I don't fucking play shit now. I'm playing fucking Sonic Frontiers. By the way, I'm having a fucking great time with this game. Every time I fucking boot it up and play for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's just fucking fun. Cause you just get to run around and just do shit and, get the collectibles and like the scoring mini game that you have to do like 40 score challenges to unlock the spin dash. So I'm trying to do those, and like the scoring is like really ethereal at first. You're like, how the fuck do you do this? But then you kind of figure it out, and it's actually like super fucking fun to do the score attacks and like get all S ranks on hard. And yeah, it's fun. But like that's what I'm playing, and that's what I'm going to be fucking playing for the next month and a half, probably, if we're being honest with ourselves.
Yeah, I will be getting Mario Wonder most likely because most likely I'm not going to have more projects to do for a couple of weeks, maybe a couple days at most, and I could probably knock out Wonder in that time. So I'll let it.
I want to play Wonder. It's just like I just probably won't get around to it.
Yeah, like I think it's just a case of you'll get to it when you get to it. I'll get it for you for Christmas if I think it's any good. If I think you'll like it, and
I definitely would.
Because here's the thing, I'm sure that you would like to play it, just spending the $60 to go out and get it and put it in the Switch, like that barrier to entry.
It's not, honestly, it's not the money, dude. It's just the time. That's with every game now. Like,
well, I was just saying, like the other aspect of like the barrier to entry of like if it's not convenient and there for you, like you can't justify putting the time in. If someone else has bought the game for you, like you either do or you don't put the time in. It's okay. You didn't lose anything by not putting the time in.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, that's definitely true. But I mean, I'd much rather like, you know, I'd want to play it. Like if someone got me something, I definitely would want to at least give it a shot and try it and put real effort into it. It's just one of those things where it's like Mario Wonder. I'll probably play it if the game comes out and it gets stupid good reviews and like I see gameplay of it, I'm just like, and I get the itch, you know?
Yeah.
Because it just happens sometimes. I see a fucking gameplay and I'm like, fuck, man, I want to play that shit like now. And then I could just go get it. And I'll download it and then I'll play it and I'll have a good time. And I'm sure it's not that long. I'm sure it's probably like 15, 20 hours.
Yeah,
maybe
you'll
30
probably
for 100%.
But what might be nice too is like if the levels have a lot of sauce, you could always just sit down with like 1 or 2 Mario levels and just run them. Just run them.
Yeah,
through.
that's always fun too.
Yeah, like it is good to just play the good levels in that game. I don't do Mario games enough. Just like oh, I'm gonna boot it up and I'm just gonna play like the best levels. I really should do that more. So I used to do that with Mario 64. Like I'll just go to Womp's Fortress and just knock it out and just have a good time.
Oh, see, that's interesting because to me, like Mario 64 is like fun because I'm gonna play it. Let's get 120 stars. Like let's do it. Like
it would depend on the day because I used to just like trying to speedrun a lot of those levels, so I would just kind of grind out 1 or 2 of the levels. But no, I mean, I love the ritual, that N64 ritual of like you sit down and you're in the game until it's over, which doesn't always happen with modern games. Like nowadays with a retro game, like you're kind of in it until it's over, like from a certain year, from a certain point. Once you get to the 6th generation, you can kind of start dropping off on the games and being like, yeah, I didn't finish it this time. But like with those old games, there's a sacredness where you want to finish it, probably because they're short enough to do so.
Yeah, they're also good.
They're also good games, yes. Anyways, so I guess I'll be generic here and just say, so I've been keeping up with the mods. I've been having a good time. We
back at it again, talking about the fucking talk mods.
Well, let's talk about this in particular because I have discovered just a very unique subhuman subgenre, right? Where I'll upload a mod that I think is very good, and it'll get a lot of likes. It'll do well on the website. Like it'll, you know, like I've consistently been featured on Today's Best, like because it's just such a small modding community, and like the shit that I'm uploading is like actually things people want. But no one wants to make themselves because it's a lot of work. So I'm like consistently like Today's Best. Like I'm not always week's best. That doesn't always happen, but pretty consistently like I'll get like the highest rated mod of the day and it's only like 5 likes. Like that's how dire shit is out here, but it's fine. I'm happy to do it.
You'd think it'd be a bit, I don't know. That's so weird. I feel like there'd be a bit bigger, but I guess
it's just because unfortunately Yuzu's just not good enough yet, like to give people like the version of the game that they want to have.
Yeah, it's not as like because like Simu for Breath of the Wild's like really like
Simu you can get up to like 144 FPS, like no full stop, like no big deal. Whereas like at this point, if you're not doing 2K30, like you're gonna have performance issues. I do 2K48 and I still have performance issues. That go down to like 45 to 37. Like sometimes it's pretty bad. So I think just a lot of people right now they don't. That's also why the mods aren't very good. A lot of people just don't. You're not going to mod a game that you're not playing. So I think I don't think it's a problem with the game in particular. It's a problem with the emulator. And because you have someone come in every day like, hey, is Yuzu good enough to emulate this? It's like, well, not at 60. They're like, okay, I'll be back later. Bye. And so you can get a lot of that. So that's my impression of it. But I'll upload like a mod that's like really simple, really like just a nice overhaul of a system or, when I say simple, I mean like you get exactly what you're downloading. There's no ambiguity to it. It's not confusing. I lay it the fuck out really clearly. And consistently I'll always get one comment that's like, hey, good mod. That said, can you make a version of the mod where I don't have to play the game whatsoever? Like, I made an overhaul mod that makes it so all the armor has half of their final stats, so that, like, the end game is a little more tough. And I also collabed with a friend of mine, and we kind of made all the, like, amiibo character armor, like, so, like, the Ocarina of Time armor. We gave them all, like, special properties to, like, make them more unique and distinct. And so, like, it's very high effort. Like there's like 900 files that are edited in total. It took a fucking month. Well, okay, so it took 10 days and then it took a month of testing. Or like 20 more days of testing. A lot of work went into it. I'm very proud of it. It's doing quite well. Everyone likes it. But then this guy said, hey, can you also make a version of the mod where all the armors in the game are already fully upgraded at 4 stars? Because I don't like upgrading the armors. It takes too long and I don't want to do it. And like, I had to fight back the urge to just be like, do you even like this game? Like, do you even want to play this game? What, like, I made another mod that was super simple. It was requested, and I just did it, like, as a quick bounty, knock it out. Where someone said, hey, can you increase the value of, like, large and grand pose? Right now they're 5 and 20. Can you make them something a little higher? So I did 5x multiplier and 10x multiplier. So they're either 25 or 100 or 50 and 200. And then someone said, yeah, can you do a 100,000 or like a 100 times multiplier, please? Just save at it, you fucking moron. Just give yourself 999 pose and just ignore the game. Just don't, if you don't want to play, why don't you just not play the game? It's really easy just to not play the game at that point. It's really like staggering to me, like that people will see like a convenience feature or an overhaul feature and be like, hey, yeah, can you also make it so I don't have to engage with an entire system of the game? Can you just make it so I don't have to play?
It just comes from like, I don't know. It's a level of like, bother the fuck out of me.
It's like mod entitlement. It's the idea of, oh, it is possible to do it, therefore can you do it for me?
Well, to me, it's like not even like that, because like I don't give a shit about that. It's like, I just get so fucking annoyed when I go online and I see people claim that they give a fuck about games, and then I feel like they always just write off the fucking gameplay aspect of whatever the fuck they're talking about. Like it's the fucking 6th or 7th most important fucking part of the equation. And I'm not saying it's got to be number 1 every single time without fail, but like it's got to be number 2 at least. Like
there was one that I noticed where someone was like, yeah, can you make it so that rocks break easier in Tears of the Kingdom caves? He's like, I don't know why they made tunneling through rocks so tedious. All it does is like waste your items and durabilities. I'm like, yeah, that's the point of it. It's a check. It's called a check. Progress check. You got to spend a little to get a little. Like, what do you want me to explain to you? I think the problem is that the game has so much hit stun when you hit something, and so like when the sword goes through an item or like an object, like the rocks, it just slows the game down. So it gets like that's a little slow, and I wish you could fix that. But when they're like, I just don't like that it's like this. I'm like, that's why it's in the game, dude. That's why it's there specifically to make you spend a couple of items so that shit doesn't rot in your inventory all day. So that those hammer-based items have a slight differentiation from each other. That they have a purpose, like a definitive purpose in the game. What do you want from me? Yeah, so I'll just see things like that are so interesting to me. Like, it's like, I just can't understand how someone, because if you don't like a feature of a game, I understand wanting to mod it out, but like wanting to just completely skip content in a game is such a fascinating concept to me. It's such a fascinating concept to me.
I agree, dude. I agree.
How does that happen to someone? Like, I understand not liking a part of a game and not wanting to engage with it, but like something like I don't like upgrading my armors is like, all right, just save at it. Just when you get an armor, just shut the game off and just save at it and then reload. It'll be upgraded for you. It'll be slightly tedious, but it's way less tedious than asking me to replace all the armor treasure chests in the game with 4-star actors. It's really tedious for me to do it for you, so why don't you do it yourself? Because you don't want to engage with a system. With one system that's optional, by the way. Why don't you just do what I did and don't upgrade your armor?
You should just anytime someone posts something like, oh, you should make a mod like this, you should just respond no with a period. Like, every time.
Just consistently no. Because why the fuck would I be polite to any of these people? I think the problem is that like so many modders are dickheads. I don't want to be a dickhead. Like, in particular, like to appear like a dickhead. I am, but there's a difference between...
what's the...
There's a
What's the
difference between like
problem?
being a dickhead like online and like in private just with my friends, and like being a dickhead like where everyone can see and nobody can kind of
Yeah,
understand.
like on this fucking podcast.
Yeah, but no one's fucking downloading Tears of the Kingdom mods on the podcast. Plus, I'm funny here. Like, there's a difference. On the Game Banana page, I just look like an asshole. When there's no text, like, you can't see my stupid ass Jufro and my shit-eating grin. Like, I just look like a dickhead. I just look like a piece of shit. Whereas this time, it's like, all right, at least he's having a good time. He's booling. But yeah, I it's such an interesting phenomenon. This phenomenon of people that I didn't know exist. People who don't want to play the game, like people who just like they just don't want to engage with some aspect of the game. I didn't know they existed. Just abstain. Just don't do it.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like when I see people who are like when like Elden Ring was coming out, we're like, oh man, I love the world of Elden Ring, and I think it's so beautiful, and it's so great, but just like I just fucking can't with the fucking game, like, like I just fucking can't.
The irony is that I couldn't with the fucking game, but it wasn't because I was a fucking scrub. I guess it kind of was because I didn't really like.
You
the
are
enemy
kind
design.
of a scrub, honestly.
Well, it was an issue of
fine.
I didn't like the enemy design. I thought it was overtuned, but
skill issue, honestly.
It's not a skill issue when they're just not very fun. I think that's a very like, because I consistently, especially because building in that game is so broken, like I consistently win fights in like just a handful of of tries, if anything. Like I don't die very often. It's just
gotta hit him with that fucking Eldritch Blast,
dude. My fucking great, like the problem with Greatsword is that like it's so broken that you either just get fucking steamrolled because your frame data is bad, or you just stance break them in a stun lock loop until they die. Like there's just no in between. Like you don't have a really like. Greatsword is just not a very cathartic playthrough, I think, is the problem, because you're not you're either like getting hit or just hitting, and there's no trading, there's not as much dodging, it's not as engaging as it probably should be. So maybe I just need to do a different weapon, like Colossal Sword. Greatsword is fine. Greatsword is actually quite nice.
I used the standard greatsword for like a majority of my playthrough. I used the Lorne Sword greatsword for a majority of my playthrough.
That's the one that everyone likes because it's available right away and it's super good.
You just get it right away and it's good. It just is good. It's fun. It's got good range. It's got good damage. I like it.
Yeah, I'm talking about the great sword, great space sword, aka the Colossal Sword.
So sword, yeah, the ultra great sword, or the
one that looks like
Gutsy sword.
Yeah, Dragon Slayer.
Yeah, I mean that's a good weapon. It's just like I just think melee, like trying to do melee only in Elden Ring.
That's the big
not,
problem.
Like, super fun.
That's the big problem is that like you lose so much by only being able to two-hand the sword for any decent effect.
Yeah, and also too like, because even if you are gonna two-hand the sword, like you got to come in there with some fucking faith spells. You're gonna buff it with magic or something like you can't just be like that. That's what I learned with like Elden Ring. Is like, oh, like if you're gonna use a normie weapon, for lack of a better term, like just a regular Titanite weapon, or whatever the fuck the upgrade stone is called in that game.
I think they're just called like shards.
Yeah, the normal weapons, not the special weapons of the boss weapons. But like you need to buff the weapons in order for them to be equal / a little bit superior to like boss weapons, or even just general mixed weapons like the winged scythe.
The big problem with that though is that when you're two-handing a sword, there's an extra input that has to go into buffing. No, there's an extra 2 inputs that have to go into buffing, because you can't just scroll over to the your catalyst or your rod and just like buff it.
Yeah, well, that's why you just light up before you just get all your buffs in, and then you go enter the fog gate, or you enter the fog gate and just buff up right away. You got plenty of time in basically every encounter.
Yeah, but it slows things down a little bit to have that level of preparation, and it's not as much fun when you can't do it mid-fight, I think.
You can, but here's the thing is like, the buffs last a long fucking time.
They do. They last long enough.
They last long enough so that it will be like you'll probably beat the boss or get pretty close by the time the buff is over.
The issue is less of like it's less a case of like, oh, it's so impossible you can't do it, and more a case of there are subtle downsides to the great sword or to the colossal sword like every single time. and they're all small enough, and they all compound on each other in such a way where like it just is a worse experience than using even the great sword, which is not a colossal sword. It's just a great sword. So that was, I think that was another problem that I just kind of ran into, especially with like the weapon preference. But yeah, like strength is probably the least viable it's ever been, like as a soul, like low.
As like a pure build, yeah.
As a pure build, yeah. So there's definitely, again, I don't have a problem with that game wanting you to do a hybrid playthrough. I actually respect it. I respect the fact that they subtly enforce it. But it's sort of, the Colossal Sword, I think, just has too many downsides to like really recommend, because you can't do like strength and int or strength and faith, because you have to do strength and endurance and int, like, and then if you're doing int or faith, you also need MP. So it's like you're spreading yourself out for like 5 different levels, as opposed to if you just do dex, like it's such a different experience. You don't need to have nearly as much endurance, like elements leveled up. So there's just like little things like that I just
mostly when it comes to like the actual your actual stat spread in Elden Ring, it's really just about whatever the weapon you want to hit and just making sure you hit your minimums and like kind of going from there. Like with strength, like I'd probably get like if I was doing a strength build, I'd probably get no more than like 50. I'd probably just get no more than 50 strength, and I'd probably just stop leveling it there and just go off everything else, unless there was something at a higher strength level I wanted.
Yeah, I think 40 is usually a good stopping point for strength in that game.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, to me, it's really just 40 would be what I would do unless it was a specific strength build where I wanted to use a weapon where the requirement was 50 if you wanted to one-hand it.
Yeah, it's just I think it's just an issue of like it's really hard to kind of like do exactly what you want in that game build-wise, because like no matter what you do, like if you want to mainline a weapon, you're gonna have to like over level if that weapon is over leveled. Like if you really want to use it for a while, and then if you don't, and you want to keep kind of even keel with the game, you are going to be playing like a third of the game without the thing that you want. Which again is, we talked about this with Dark Souls 3 as well. Like it's kind of just comes with the territory. I don't have a problem with a lot of those things. It's just like the kind of thing that like made like my experience like with the game kind of like, oh well, you know, I'm not really getting to play the way that I want to, so that's a little bit of a shame. Like I just never settled into like a build that I really enjoyed that like made fighting the enemies fun for me.
Yeah, I just constantly like I enjoyed like switching it up like a couple times on my playthrough. I think I used like 2 or 3 larval tiers like on the playthrough I actually beat, because like first I was kind of doing like a strength in thing, and then and
then you realize that strength int is lame,
and I was just kind of like, because I wanted to, because I ended up being more melee focused than I was with the magic. The magic was just kind of like,
because the magic
for like ads.
The problem with int is that it's so offensively inclined, but like there's only like a small handful of good offensive int spells.
Yeah,
Faith is where it's at, though. Faith is the real
Faith
shit.
is awesome, because Faith you can buff with holy, you can buff with lightning. It's like you got a lot more options on that front if you're doing a more like melee focused build like mine was. And then I ended up getting Rykard's sword, which just has a fucking goated fucking weapon art attack that just basically you just do by the fucking power of Grayskull and fucking slam the sword down, and it just creates a fucking 25-meter line of lava that does like 1,000 damage to bosses and shit's fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's where like I enjoy building up to that, but that game is also long enough that like at some point I would want to stop that build and literally do something else, because I get tired of hitting the one button that wins me the fight. It's a tough balancing act of a game of that size, and especially like I think with RPGs, especially open world RPGs, I tend to get like more bored of being boxed in. So that's definitely a me issue, because like you can't just be like, all right, well I don't want to play like this anymore, therefore I'm not going to do it. No, you got to respec, and then you got to upgrade your equipment. You got to make sure that's all good, all well and good. It's not,
which I don't think is too horrible. I don't think really leveling up your equipment is too bad, like weapons wise and stuff.
In Elden Ring, you get so many like ore chunks that it's really not too bad.
Yeah, and it's also pretty easy to like buy shit and stuff too, like buy like the core like the piece upgrades, the Titanite piece. I totally am blanking on the name.
They don't have a good name. Like, they're really like just a generic. I think they're literally just called something generic like ore or shards or like something really simple like that. Ironically enough, I do want to play Elden Ring now, like recently, but I know it's a bad idea. I know it's a bad idea.
The only thing that keeps me from playing through Elden Ring is fucking long.
Yeah,
is I'm not gonna fucking mainline Elden Ring and play it in 10 hours. That's not how the fucking game was meant to be played.
Yeah, I think it's just an issue for me of like I don't really like have the same reason to just explore that I used to, because I know I don't like a lot of these combat encounters. Like, I don't want to fight certain enemies, and I also don't need a lot of the treasures in the game. So I'm definitely always having a little bit of trouble like motivating myself to do it. But like, I still want to beat the game, and there's still a lot of parts of the map that I like and that I want to see again. I really like my other problem is that Liurnia of the Lakes to me is like the high point of the game, and it happens so early. Like, it's kind of a shame.
It's so funny you like Liurnia of the Lakes so much, because I'm like, it's all right. It's cool. Like,
I mean, it's all right. Like,
I thought, dude, I fucking EDP sucks, but that fucking quote's awesome.
Oh yeah, fuck EDP.
But like, I mean, it's all right.
Yeah, well, you like Atlas Plateau, which is probably my second favorite area, to be fair.
Yeah, it's just, that's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, and then the other issue is that I got to get through Caelid. And Caelid, I actually want to stop playing the game every single time.
You literally can be in Caelid for like 2 minutes, though, bro. Like,
if you want, yeah.
You can ass blast through Caelid.
I think the problem is just that I am very much like, all right, well, I want to see this, and I want to do this, and I want to do this. Yeah, it's a little bit of a tough game for me, where like I don't have fun exploring for the sake of it in that particular open world game, which is a bit of a shame. But I do want to finish it, and I want to squash the beef on that. But yeah, I respect the sheer just staggering quality of Elden Ring, because it's a really fucking impressive game. But I don't vibe with it as much as I'd like to. But I still want to play it all the time. So it's doing something right. It's clearly doing something right. I don't want to just fucking skip the fucking content. I don't want to skip the content.
Go
get
back.
A mod.
Yeah, I'd like to go back and like replay Elden Ring and see all the content, because even on my playthrough I like miss some stuff that like I'd like to see.
I think the problem is that some of it is really, really cool, and then a lot of it is also like a little more like filler generic. But then the effort that it takes to see both the really cool things and the filler generic things is roughly the same. This is some people's problem with Mario Odyssey, I know, where like all the like best platforming based moons give you the exact same thing as like ground pounding a lump on the floor.
That's one of my issues with it, especially since by the way, I was listening to my buddies. They got a podcast, and one of them casually says like, yeah, it'll take you about like 15 to 20 hours to beat Mario Odyssey. I'm like, that's bullshit. That game's 2.5 hours long. Because the only reason that stops, dude, the only thing that stops people from beating that game in 3 hours is ignorance.
Like, yeah, you need so few moons to get to the next area. It's an odd example of a game that wants to be very easy for its core demographic of like 7-year-olds, which I think is very fair. I saw a comment that was really funny, because a lot of people don't like that Tears of the Kingdom shrines allow you to just break them with your powers. Like they want them to be like block pushing puzzles because they're Zelda
fucking
fans.
Stupid.
Yeah, because they're Zelda fans. And someone said, it's like they made this game for 10 to 12-year-olds. I'm like, that's exactly what they made this game for! Who the fuck do you think this game was made for?
What do you fucking think the E10 on the box says?
Yeah. You think it was made for 30-year-olds? Like, are you kidding me? And not to mention
30-year-olds and their fucking block pushing puzzles.
Yeah, and not to mention, I'm sorry, but most people who are 30-year-olds have the skill of a 10 to 12-year-old gamer. Like, let's be fucking real here.
Yeah.
Of course they're that easy. And also they're just that easy because you solve the puzzle in the exact way that makes the most sense to you. Like, of course it's fucking easy. You did what your own brain figured out. You didn't have to spend fucking 7 hours trying to figure out
what fucking Shigeru Miyamoto intended.
Yeah, so I get that that's unpopular for some people, but like that comment in particular is so funny to me. Like, it's like they made this game for 10-year-olds. That's exactly what they made this game for. You fucking clown. You fucking idiot. It's a fucking baby game. That's why it's fucking easy. I would love it if people just stopped. You know what I did, Sam? I downloaded Unhook on YouTube, and like Unhook,
the recommendation canceller.
Unhook has made my YouTube. It actually is astounding how much bullshit is on YouTube that you don't notice until you get Unhook, because Unhook, if you just like turn off all the settings, when you click on a video, it is literally in the center of the screen. There's no title, there's no description, there's no tags, there's no upload date, there's no like, there's no dislike bar, there's no recommended, there's no comment sections. It's just and you can have the title. That's an option. You can toggle it on or off. You can toggle the like it's called video information, which is the title what do you call it, description, and like probably date uploaded, but I turned it off because I don't care.
So like, how do you watch anything?
Well, so you basically just stick to your subscribers, you stick to your sub list, and
but then how do you find any new fucking videos?
You use the search bar.
You can't find good content in this fucking search bar.
You have to understand. Well, that's why I was gonna finish that. That's why I was talking about I'm using Unhook, because I am not you, Sam. I don't want to see more YouTube videos. I want to put YouTube on in the background while I do something that's actually productive, and instead YouTube is like, hey, do you want to watch a 9-hour video essay that you won't agree with by the worst person you know?
You should just pick a podcast or something else then.
Well, yeah, that's me with Red Letter Media, baby. I just put that on, and I want to watch my true crime videos. I want to watch my Turkey Tom documentaries. Like, I want to watch all that shit. Like all this. I mean,
I don't know why you just can't press the fucking F key. You click on the video and press the fucking F key and full screen it.
But like you have to understand what a brain worm that I have is a problem. Especially like I get fascinated just by looking at if I'm not looking at the comments, because I have a thing that turns the comments off. I'm looking at the recommended videos, and like I used to get into a bad point where I'll go to my recommendeds page, and I'll just like click on whatever crap, and I was just watching 30-second, 60-second videos, like just wasting my fucking time. And then I was also getting recommendations for these videos I was never gonna watch that were fucking long and terrible, and I don't care.
I mean, they just ignore the recommendations that suck. Like I just don't feel like you need to throw out the whole fucking baby with the bathwater on this.
But it has toggles. It has toggles if you don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater. But I want to throw out the baby with bathwater because I'm never gonna fucking watch this crap anyways. I don't even be watching more 8-minute smash highlight clips. I've seen enough of them. Mario's gonna forward air someone off stage again. Oh my god. Stop the presses. He pressed.
I mean, here's the thing. There's elements of this where it's like, I would love if I could remove YouTube Shorts from my app.
You can.
From my YouTube app. Not on my phone, though, because this is the problem.
There's an app for that, but you have to pay for it.
I don't fucking care about removing this crap on a desktop, because most of my YouTube watching is done on my phone or on my smart TV. Like 98% of it. I barely sit at to be honest, I barely sit at this computer like ever anymore. Like I do literally sit at this computer to fucking edit Crackhouse, and that's it.
Yeah, it is different when you work at your computer and you need that background noise. That is fair. But that's specifically why I turned it off. Like I actually had a day where I lost an hour of progress just reading a comment section on a video, and I said like, this has to stop.
I mean, I agree. I wish I could just not see comment sections. That I wish. I could.
And there's an app that's separate for that. Sorry, an extension, not an app. It's an extension for Chrome, and Opera, and Firefox, and all these browsers. But yeah, like it was just I didn't realize just how much like shit is just put on your screen to make you stay on YouTube and to make you like watch more stuff and waste more time. Like, until I just saw that I could streamline YouTube into just being the video in a black void. And that's it. And like, it definitely made me realize, like, I have a problem of I get way too caught up in just having information available to me at all times, other people's opinions available to me at all times, other people's nonsense available to me at all times.
Yeah, I've noticed that too recently, like, because I used to never, specifically, like, growing up, I fucking never read comment sections, like, ever. I just was like, I don't I don't care. I don't give a fuck. And I feel like now it's the exact opposite. Where like I'll click on a video and I'll almost look at the comments right away. And you know what I think it is, honestly, Myles? And I just realized it. You know what it is? It's the lack of the fucking dislikes. It's not being able to fucking immediately see the fucking dislikes.
Yeah.
And I gotta know, like, oh, like, what do people really think of this fucking video before I even fucking see it? Like, because the top 5 comments are gonna tell you almost everything you need to know. But at the same time, commenters are stupid because they're not making YouTube videos. They're fucking commenting.
Yeah.
So you're automatically a dumbass if you comment on YouTube videos, unless you're commenting on Crackhouse.
Before we end this, I will say that's what I realized with the YouTube poll. It's what the likes and dislike bar used to tell you how it really was, and then the comments were usually either for people to suck your cock or to offer, either like an alternative reading. Like if it was a video essay, they might offer an alternative, or like say something that you missed that they want to highlight. Like, so those can be interesting. But then the other half is usually like well-liked comments that are either disagreements or that are alternate viewpoints that people have that are popular. And so the comments aren't an authentic version of like what people really think about the video in some cases either. Because sometimes the comments are people who don't feel represented by the video, making sure that they feel represented somewhere else, and more power to them. But like, that ain't the truth of the video. That ain't how people actually feel. The likes and dislikes are how people actually feel.
Yeah, and now it's like, and now the only way you can determine that is by what comments have the most likes, because it's like these comments like speak for the most amount of people, because it's like this is the only fucking like you have to get this feedback source, because like a like to view ratio just isn't a good metric on YouTube.
But
like,
then but even then the comments are like, I think it's one in every like 100 people will like a video. I think it's then 1 every 1,000 and people will leave a comment or something like really small like that. So like even that's.
So it's the most impassioned people for one reason or another, or just people who are just habitual commenters, like, which is just like, that's just, it's a part of the culture. It's just what you do. Like, I very, very rarely fucking leave comments on YouTube. I like almost never fucking do it.
I'll leave comments on polls because I'm realizing like that's like what they really want when they put up the poll. So I'll leave like a comment there.
And the poll is also the community. Like it's community engagement tab, so it's like makes sense.
Yeah, and of course, and usually no one will see it. Like it's not a big deal of like that poll will just get fucking buried. As opposed to if you leave a comment like 6 years later, someone can come at you being like, "Oh, listen up, you fucking bitch."
I love that shit though.
Yeah, the
it's so
7-year reply. Yeah, the 7-year late reply. People should go to
my
our
favorite
like,
is
one.
what song is this or whatever, and then like 2 years later they like follow up with the answer. Like that shit's so good.
One of my favorite ones was it was under like some Metal Gear Solid 3 video or something, or Peace Walker video of someone being like, oh no, it was Metal Gear Solid 3, and then someone was like, I have to play Peace Walker, and then they were like, did you play Portable Ops? Like another commenter said that. And they're like, oh no, I guess I'll play Portable Ops before Peace Walker. And then 9 months later he said, update, it sucks.
MGS Portable Ops, better known as MGS Poop.
Yeah, no, MGS Poops is what people call it. Po-ops.
Poops.
Yeah.
Poops.
Must have visited Shake Shack.
Yeah. Anyways, this was a fun episode. This was fun.
This was good. This was
I enjoyed talking about fucking
School House Rock for most of it.
School House Rock and fucking mods and fucking Elden Ring. It's a good fucking show.
Just a classic Crackhouse episode where we answered one question.
Just another one in the books,
Just where we answered one question, but mostly talked about Taylor Swift being a Nazi.